Hey, welcome to the Brilliant Marketing with Mary show. And I'm Mary Barnett. They also call me Mobile Mary. And I'm so thrilled that you're here today. We're going to talk about how to wow your audience and attract clients. And who doesn't need that, right? I have a brilliant guest and I can't wait to introduce her. But first, let me share a few things. If you're wondering what these wild balloons and flowers are doing behind me, you might have heard that I launched a book. So my husband was so sweet. When I went number one in all three categories, he came home with flowers and balloons, which is awesome. And this is the book. This is actually the proof copy. So it's got this lovely bar across it, but it's called Hello God. It's Me, Martha, a 31-day journey from overwhelmed, overjoyed. And it plays off the story in the Bible of Mary and Martha. And the thing is that I was named Mary, but I'm more of a Martha. So, Marthas get stuff done, right? And so we all need to be Marthas a little bit, but we also need to realize that we can rest and find joy. And that's kind of what Mary figured out in the Bible. And so I wanted to be more like her, like my namesake. So I wrote this book, and it's really more of a journal. It's a faith-based journal that, like, every day there's like a verse and then a inspirational or insight, I should say, and then a journal prompt, a gratitude throughout, and a thing to color and doodle and share. So I'm just so absolutely thrilled to have this finally out. I've been working on it for 5 years. I should say I started it 5 years ago, but I really finished it up last summer during some recovery time from surgery. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with the world, and that's why the balloons and the flowers are there. Okay, so, a couple other housekeeping before we get started. So, we have so much to share today, by the way. Marla Press, who is my guest, is absolutely brilliant. Before I bring her up, though, I want to also invite you to my free Facebook group. It's called Marketing Innovators Playground. And inside that group, we do all kinds of fun things. Fun is the number one theme of the day. But I share tools like AI tools and different ways that you can be more creative in your marketing to literally attract clients to you and have them also share your stuff, because people love to have fun in life, right? Life is short. And so, again, today's show, I'm going to bring up my guest. I want to introduce her first because there might be one person in the world who doesn't know who she is. She's pretty famous. So I want to make sure I do her justice by sharing that Marla Press is her name. And Marla is the founders of Speakers on Fire Academy, which I just love that name. She's a public speaking coach, a life coach, and an art of presence trainer, and we're going to learn more about that today. She coaches you to master your presence and create a bigger impact by building your wow factor and your connection to the audience. Her mission is to help you speak so people listen. I love that. Marla's unique exercises help beginner and experienced speakers transform immediately. If you want to attract more clients and build wealth and be hot off the press, Marla Press is your coach. So without further ado, let's bring her up. Hey, Martha. Hey, Marla. I almost said
Mary,
Martha.
Martha, Marla, it's all so similar. That means we're connected. That's okay.
I
And
love that.
and I love that you started talking about your book that is so interactive, because that's my whole
You.
thing is we have to be interactive. People don't want to be talked at. They want
Right.
to share an experience. And making your books interactive, not a lot of people do that. So this is
Oh,
brilliant.
ah,
and and that's how when we speak, whether it's you're doing a live or you're doing a podcast or you're on a big stage, you
yeah.
want to interact with your audience. That's so important for wowing the audience. So there's
I
two
love it.
main things we need to do. One is to wow them and entertain them and give them an experience.
Right.
The other is to connect. And
I
that's where
love
we
it.
can talk in a few minutes about the art of presence that is going to change everything for you.
I love it. That is so cool. Yeah, I've always been kind of a goofball. And so I think that came to me naturally, but I know it's not always a natural thing for asking questions because sometimes it throws you off your groove. And obviously, that's what you help people with is how to work that interaction in without letting it throw them off their groove, which is awesome. And we're so like-minded. It's so true. Like, I think you need to engage your audience, get them in a way to join. And that's, I think, I didn't even bring that up in my intro, which I normally do, is that I have this audience building mastery. It's a free micro course for, or mini course, what do you want to call it, for speakers. And that it's true. It's mine is, it's, they call it platform agnostic. I just basically share people how to build a list no matter
Mm.
what platform they work on. So I'll have that in the speaker notes or in the show notes down below. Okay, so again, I just want to make sure everybody knows where to find you because we're going to get started asking you these brilliant questions. But you are at marlapress.com. On Facebook, you're Marla Press 1, and on LinkedIn, you're Marla A Press. So, okay, just want to make sure you got that out of the way. So, something that when I always ask my guests a brilliant marketing tip, and so you said, get out of your mind and into your full body presence. Then you're more authentic, more magnetic, and your audience becomes fired up to work with you. Can you go into that in a little bit more depth?
Yes, this is the basis of everything as a speaker. And we're all in our heads. We're all in these cluttered minds. It's
Right.
your to-do list. It's, thinking about the past. It's thinking about what you're doing now and how that's going to affect the future. It's taking in your environment. It's you're processing so many things that it's cluttered and it's intellectual. It's not emotional. And
Interesting.
a lot of people, even speaker coaches will say, well, speak from the heart, not from
Right.
the head. And of
Right.
course, you want to do that. But I take it a step further.
Okay.
You want to speak from the heart and the gut.
Ooh.
Yes. And
Okay.
the gut sounds kind of ugly. So I
No,
call
it's
it,
like your intuition, you mean? Like
it
your
it's an energetic place that I call your home space.
oh,
It's the essence of who you are. It's not your identity. It's not all your accomplishments. It's not
right.
the good or the bad. It's this essence of who you are. And when you
Ooh.
learn how to connect, get out of this head energy, and not only go through your heart, but connect to this home space, magic happens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so people can really connect with you and feel like they want
Yes.
more of you, right? It's like you create
Yeah.
that connection. You called it the art of presence because you're an art of presence trainer. What is that?
Yeah, so I didn't develop this program, but I'm certified at the highest level to teach it.
Oh,
And I studied it for years and I just love it. It's so juicy. It's how to be present, how to get out of this headspace
okay.
and into your full body. We are not used to being in our bodies. We're used to being, we're bombarded with information all the time. We're taking in so much information. We're in an information age. And that makes us communicate from our intellect and not from our heart and it's not even our soul. It's this unique place where all of your resourcefulness is, it's your creativity comes from there. And it's also your intuition, like you said, but
Oh, wow.
it's just this essence of who you are. And, to give you an example, some people
Yeah,
will walk into a room and nobody really notices and the energy doesn't shift. And sometimes you forget, was that person there? I don't even remember if they were there, or maybe that happened to you. People don't remember you were there, not you, but people out there. Maybe
sure.
some of your listeners can connect to this. And other people will walk into a room, any room, and just immediately the energy shifts and people pay attention.
Yeah,
They're curious, they're drawn in. And that's, as a speaker, what I help speakers do is develop this presence so that people are drawn into you magnetically. So you're mesmerizing. So you're communicating from this really authentic place. That's kind of an overused word, but
okay.
it's the word of the year, I'm told, and it's so important. And it's
Yeah,
if we can't even understand that intellectually, we can't
right.
understand authenticity, we can't understand presence. We have to experience it, and that's why the way I teach is taking people through exercises so they really get it.
I love that. Well, we talked about like the sharing like why it's important, but I think you kind of covered that because you want people, like you said, to be magnetized to the speaker. Like when they walk in the room, they just kind of light up the room.
Yeah.
And so you literally help people accomplish that. That's amazing.
it
Wow. Did you
it
have like tell me, like I didn't ask you this before, but like you just said you make that transformation. Can you give me a case study, like someone who they were speaking and now through your training, like what was like the one thing that they changed that you think made the biggest difference in their speaking career?
Yeah, it's funny because even there's some people that I work with that it's subtle and it's and not extreme. but it still makes a difference. Then
A
there's other
little
people.
tweak.
Yeah, then there's
Okay.
other people I've worked with that are just totally in their heads,
Yeah.
and absolutely, they're just not connecting to the
Yeah, like
audience.
overthinking it. Yeah.
And they can be, it shows up a couple different ways. So some people I've worked with, they're just real stoic as a speaker
Okay.
because they want to be shown as the expert and
Right.
competent. And so they're almost stoic. That's not how they are in real life and with their
Right.
friends, or, even with some colleagues, but
Right.
they take on this persona. And so there's that. But then
Oh,
there's other people that are just really so intellectual and in their minds. And there's other people that are in performance mode.
right.
What I tell people, you need some performance mode and
Yeah.
entertainment factor to excite your audience. So you need that. But
Right.
how do you balance that
Right.
with this connection factor? You need both, and you need to know how to balance it, where to bring it in. And that's what I really help people with. So I've had
That is
people
amazing.
that are entertaining, and people say, oh, that was a great speech, but they're not going to work with them
Yeah.
because
Right.
there was no connection there.
Yeah.
Or there's people that are just, have huge hearts, and they're so warm and friendly, and everybody likes them.
Right.
But again, they're not exciting enough and compelling, so people don't want to work with them.
Right.
So what I do is I help speakers get more clients by the wow factor and the connection factor.
I love that. I was just gonna ask you, why are you different? Obviously, that's why, that you help them with the wow factor and the connection factor. When you were I wanna finish the show up with I wish we had more time,
Yeah.
talking about energy and presence, but when you were explaining that just now, because you were saying they might be off stage, this dynamic, but they get on stage and they feel like they have to be this certain acting, whatever, but it's almost like you help them take the mask off and then be them, be themselves. Like, I think maybe people are hiding behind a persona or a
Yeah.
mask. I don't know why I was thinking of that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
remember the
But
Jim
it's
Carrey
true.
movie, The Mask?
Yeah, and
Sorry.
it's funny because some speaker coaches say, well, be more like this successful speaker, or be more like, I don't want to name names, but,
Right.
to be more like this personality, or be more like them.
Yeah.
And what I do, because I come from a psychology background, and I really delve into the importance of really tuning into yourself. And I
Yeah.
help people be more fully expressed as to who they are. So I don't try and make everybody the same, and I don't
Brilliant.
say be like someone else. It's how could you be more of yourself? How could you expand your persona so you're
Right.
more interesting? Because, just like in a book or a movie,
Yeah.
characters that are multidimensional are more interesting.
Right.
And that will make you, be quirky, be yourself. But, could you be more enthusiastic, but still be yourself? Could you
Right.
be more bossy and still be yourself? Because some
Right.
people, they're not directive enough. You have to have that too.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So you can help somebody who really is just kind of starting out, or maybe somebody who's experienced it just needs to fine tune and really tap into their, as you talked about, the energy
Yeah.
of themselves as well as the room, right? And just be
Yes.
own their presence, so to speak.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Marla, that's brilliant.
It's so cool, and it helps in your relationships. It helps in your personal life to be more joyful about what you do. It's fabulous.
I love, well, obviously that's important to me, the joy. A little sign right there. For those of you listening. That's fantastic. Wow. Okay. So as we're at the end, let me know. I mean, obviously I've shared about where to get a hold of you on Facebook and LinkedIn and your website. Is there anywhere that you would like people to go to if they like, oh my gosh, I need Marla stat? Where would they go?
Yeah, so on my webpage, in the
Okay.
very top there, it says schedule a call with Marla. And here's what that
Oh,
call will look like. It's not
okay.
going to be, I'm going to tell you all about my programs and it's all about me. No, I
Right.
want to make it about you, and I want to be in service. So what I do is I have a hot or not speaker evaluation, and it's really about bringing your message, because
Yeah.
your words, are your energy is really important, and that's where in my programs you're going to really, really elevate your business. But this is about your message, because that's also important. So how can we make it hotter, sizzle more, wow the audience more, and you'll walk away in 1 hour with me with a message that's going to immediately attract more clients.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Thank you so much for sharing that with our audience. So everybody run, don't walk to marlapress.com and schedule your call today. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Marla, for being on the the
Oh,
show, whatever we're calling this.
yes, yes, my pleasure. It was so great
Yeah.
to talk with you, Mary. I
Oh my
appreciate
gosh.
you. I wish we had more time, but
I know it's a
this
short
is
show. That's all good. We're
people
getting
sometimes
bite-sized
it's
nuggets.
the perfect nugget for people in their day.
Exactly.
So
And I
yeah.
speak to so many speakers. I know this will bless them. So thank you for doing what you do, Marla. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you next Tuesday at 12:30 for more brilliant. By the way, Martha, I only interview brilliant businesswomen like yourself. So you're amongst some lovely people. So we'll look forward to next week as well. And until then, be brilliant in all you do.